Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I am Matt Capper, and this is another video on Raid Shadow Legends, and another in our series of I Built Them, so you don't have to. Before I get to that, just a reminder, watch the video. It should be up there. It'll be in the description down below. It'll also be at the end of the video. There'll be a clickable link for it, and that is for my yesterday's video that is giving away 540 gems plus an ancient shard. It was my return to work after 2 weeks on vacation, so please check that out and support the channel. Also, we are edging ever closer to our 8,000 sub goal. So if you can help with that, I need two things. I need you to watch videos, get that watch time so that we keep above the threshold, and subscriptions. I need 800, roughly 800, a little less than 800 more subs, and we can get to the test server, which is going to save me a ton of resources. As you can see up there, it can be painful. Down to like 13 million silver again for like I get up to 50 and I get knocked down again. But you can help me with that. That'd be amazing. Also, I want to talk to you about raidshadowpro.gg. I will be pumping the heck out of this in my videos, but that is a resource where you can find all of your favorite creators, well, many of your favorite creators. One area we're all kind of a collective looking to improve the Raid Shadow Legends experience, and there you can find tier lists, you can find the offer calculator, you can find resources such as videos, links to videos such as this one, as well as whoever's streaming live. If they're live, will show you there. It'll show you the latest tweets by many of the different members. You've got Deadwood Jedi, Chosen, you've got Layla, you've got myself, you've got, I mean, that's all you should need, right? I mean, myself, I'm there. Like, what else could you possibly want? But check that out, raidshadowpro.gg. Now, without further ado, let's get into it with Anchorite. Sacred Trust. Fully heals a target ally, then places a 30% increased crit rate and a 30% increased crit damage buff on all allies for 2 turns. Prayer of Prowess. Removes 1 random debuff from all allies, then increases the duration of all ally buffs by 1 turn. Warm Embrace. Attacks all enemies. Heals the ally with the lowest HP by 10% of the damage inflicted. Alright, so I have some specific builds that I'm using for testing in this video, but the common build that I would recommend is this one right here. You can see the infographic right there. He is a utility healer, and with his high base HP for an epic at 19,155, he is a natural for both bolster or shield set, which of course I have him in a bolster set here. Very strong in that. And you can see here, based on this infographic, you can see his build out, including his Masteries. We'll talk about in a second. Stats goals, you're looking at 75 to 100k is where you want to land. Again, the more the merrier. Don't be shy with the HP. If you can get more, get more. Defense between 2 and 3k. I think you kind of want your secondary substats. So if you get a nice little double roll HP or triple roll HP, if that also has defense on it, all the better. Nice. Just kind of add to his overall survivability. Attack is secondary. I know that he does heal off of damage on his A1, but the multipliers aren't really there for you to focus on it. Speed 200 plus is kind of where you want to be. That said, you just want to make sure that he's in line with the rest of your team. You see mine's a little under 200 speed. I did prioritize some HP boots over speed, and that's why it's a little lower, but still well within where he needs to be for the content that I'll be showing him in. And crit rate, again, if you can crit cap a support champion, go ahead. In this case, don't worry about it if you can't. Accuracy, does not need accuracy. Resistance 200. Now there's an asterisk to the 200. The resistance can be useful in certain areas like Hydra and Iron Twins. So if you're looking at using them specifically in those areas to help you push along, and you have the gear to do it, heck, why not? put him in higher resistance. You're looking Iron Twins north of 600. You're looking for the for the Hydra boss between 300 and 500 roughly. So if you can do it, do it. I wouldn't prioritize it unless you know you can do it, and do it while getting that 75 to 100k HP, because you really want this guy to be alive so that he can do his thing, right? As far as books, he's very book value is pretty decent. And the blessing that I like for him is Dark Resolve, just that extra opportunity for him to, just like most of the supports, if they get frozen or provoked or anything, to remove that. So any extra chance to get rid of that before you miss a turn is the better. So just kind of, I like him with Dark Resolve at this time, pending blessing changes in the near future. Let's get the infographic off here and talk about him a little bit more. Now, as I stated, let's talk about the Masteries. They were on the infographic, but really the only real important thing here is the War Master. I did bring him down the heal side, and I did that to see if it would improve his A1. I know better. I hate these because I don't think they're impactful, and I would actually not do this. I know I have it in the infographic, sorry, Chosen, but I actually would probably take him down defense, give him resistance, give him a rejuvenation, give him reduced AoE, any of those things. Get him down retribution and deterrence, because then he has more chance on his A1 to proc War Master and to get those heals out. The more heals, or the more War Masters, the more damage. The more damage, the more heals off his A1. The more opportunities to heal off his A1, the safer your champions will be, as he's always going to target this person with the lowest HP with that. So that's his skill. Now, when we talk about his actual skills, 25% HP in all battles is a nice add-on. This is the big thing here. You've got an increased crit damage, increased crit rate. Effectively, what you should build your team out, this is just going to give you bonus damage when it's up, and it's going to give your support champions bonus damage because their crit rate will be closer to being crit capped once this bonus is up. I wouldn't build your team around that. It still isn't quite where it needs to be in order to build a team around it, but we'll talk about that in the final thoughts. Here, you've got this right here. This is the bulk of his ability. It removes one random debuff from all allies, then increases the duration of all ally buffs by 1 turn. I love this skill. It's a 3-turn cooldown, and this is absolutely impactful for shields, for Veil, for anything you're putting on, including his own buffs, anything you're putting on your champions. If you put this in the right turn order, you're basically extending everything on a 3-turn cooldown. It's one of the best increasers in the game. You look at a lot of them are 4-turn. You look at Godseeker and Neri. She does it on a 4-turn. Oh, sorry, wrong one. On a 3-turn cooldown as well. But you've got a lot of champions like Hope that have it on a 4-turn cooldown, just making it a lot more impactful. This is a champion that is arguably more accessible than Godseeker, or of course any of the legendaries. So having that on a 3-turn cooldown, keeping in mind it does not increase block damage or unkillables, but everything else, every other buff, I think every other buff under the sun, it will increase, making his impact readily felt for your other support or control champions. Then of course you've got this again. As I said, this is going to heal. The War Master proc is what makes this work. You're not going to hit hard enough otherwise, and we've got a little testing for that. So that's the champion. Why don't we at this time, I'm going to take him into Hydra. I'm going to take him into Iron Twins. We're going to take him into some damage testing. You already saw him in Magma Dragon. Unfortunately, I'm pretty low on the list, but just so you note, when you have same affinity War Chief and the Magma Dragon, at that top level, I think it's 90 or 100, he can smack. And so Anchorite in that instance, and being able to heal him full health, doesn't matter how much health he's lost, is actually really impactful. It's unfortunate that I only used it to show you his kit because I knew it was too low a level for it to be. Otherwise, I would have added that as one of the zones, right? So just so you're aware of that, very good champion in that area too. No matter who your taunter is, he's going to help you keep that taunt alive. So that said, why don't we jump into the next area, which let's start with Hydra. All right, I wanted to start with this snapshot here for this little bit, a little insert here. You've already seen how I recommend Anchorite being built. However, this is he wasn't built the same way for this. And I brought him into Hydra Brutal, and again, apologize. I had issues with my OBS, and I didn't properly capture the video. It would froze. This happens every time there's an update. and Plarium Play client had an update, which somehow affected it, and it just froze on the screen. I didn't notice it because I had a couple different screens open. Yada yada yada. Excuse. The net result being I wasn't able to get the key, but I did notice at the end that it wasn't working, and so I just took a screenshot to at least show you. I wanted to keep the key because it's a good key, right? And why? The last thing I want to do is throw away a good key just to you know get some very you know, Hydra is so random because of the different heads and what goes on that you could have a different thing happen every time. So anyway, I'm rambling. Point being, here's what happened on the Hydra Key Brutal using Duchess and Solus as my legendaries, having Anchorite, Royal Guard, Ugo, and Geo. Anchorite fit in there quite nicely, to be perfectly honest. Was a really good, easy key. It was a very easy key. I know it's only 34 million, but I had 29 million without even like breaking a sweat. I did manual it, and I manual these things only because I really get frustrated with some of the decisions. For example, again, unlucky taunt, but Geomancer's still going to use his HP burn, but I don't have the decay taunted, so he cleanses it right away. Like things like that you can't do on auto. I'll make auto keys one day, but today's not going to be that day. Anyway, again, rambling. The biggest thing here is a very good, you know, Anchorite himself, 1.9 million. I guess it's not big damage. Same as Ugo type of thing. I could probably eke out more damage out of Anchorite, but I'll show you the build I used, which is really more about having some resistance. So Anchorite, because of how his speeds worked out, when the Head of Mischief showed up, he was also a good high resist for targeting for the buff steal. And Anchorite, you know, even though I have Ugo, which can block buffs, which can kind of take Mischief out of its game, it's still nice when you don't have to lose those buffs at all. And Anchorite, 2 out of 3 times was the target for the buff steal, which was really nice. Not guaranteed, of course, because he's just got the same number of buffs as everyone else. It just so happened to be how the turn order went on this team allowed him to be the target a lot of the times. But that 754 heal was nice. The downfall of it is it's really unimpactful early, and because I didn't have very high HP champions in this particular case, Solus is a main defense. Ugo has, you know, we're talking probably 60k, Geo with 50k HP, Royal Guard with 48. So, you know, his A3, which heals to full, is going to be more impactful in a champion that's 100k than 50k, right? But nonetheless, he was really good at supplemental. Keeping in mind, Ugo is an AoE heal, and Duchess Level 2 is a 2-turn continuous heal at 15%. So she really picked it up in the later half when champions like Royal Guard and Geomancer were starting to die occasionally. That's where she really went big. But also keep in mind, a lot of Duchess's abilities here were from Anchorite because he's got that extend. And what's really good here is Anchorite can be a 3-turn cooldown on an extend buffs and reduce debuffs, which was a big deal in this fight. Really helped push it through. So, all right, now that we've gone over how you should build the champion, I just wanted to quickly insert this in before we move on. This is how I had him built for the Hydra Boss Brutal. I showed you the little snapshot. I apologize again, I didn't get the footage of it. This champion was pretty good. It added crit damage, which is always nice. I've got multiple crit damage based heroes, Solus and Royal Guard especially, really benefiting from that. The crit rate, really not a benefit. We'll talk about that more in the final thoughts. But overall, was a nice addition. Supplemental heals, having technically having 3 champions that can heal, keeping in mind that Duchess did have the highest heal on that snapshot. Okay, we're gonna attempt to show his heal here, and we'll see how it goes. We want to see this ability here. Boom, you see there. Not bad. Let's take a look at what that meant in actual numbers. All right, so he was able to heal off of his A1 for 35,000 single target. I just wanted to show you that because I know there's a mindset sometimes that this is the way you're gonna go. This is the way to do it. Oh my gosh. Think what's her name? Chaplin, or I believe it is. Who is a rare that actually hits really hard off of, and it can heal quite a bit off of it. It's a gimmick, and don't be fooled by it. He did 327,000 damage. And as a result, healed for 35,004 on a single target who didn't lose that much health. It just isn't impactful. Let's show you the champion number here. Let's show you the gear I slopped him in here. Clearly not what you wanted to do, but it was an important test to do just so we can answer the question. Can you make this guy a nuker? Now, the hit wasn't that bad, 327,000. There was a defense down, no weaken, and overall, you know, respectable number. But I have my Baron gear, at least top row Baron gear, on him, and he's got 51,000 attack at 261 crit damage. In order to get 30,000 heal off of his A1, 35,000 heal off his A1. The first time I tested it was 40,000 off his A1. War Master proc is probably the difference there. It's fun. It looks cool. Not how you're going to build them out. So now with the build you've probably already seen, depending on how I've edited this, we're going to take him into some real world example dungeon where I think he can probably be of some use to you when playing out the game. All right, let's go through an Iron Twins battle I have here. I pre-recorded it because of the other issues I was having, but this is a nice little team here. Let's talk about this team that is going to be a sub 2-minute team. Now, my normal team here is actually with Demetha. She's got a very similar thing going. She's got a block damage, which can be good or bad because the quicksand grasp from Geo is what's going to give us all that damage. And the block damage is going to lessen that a bit, where in this case, we're putting Anchorite in that spot. Now, if you wanted to, I talked about it before, or maybe I talk about it after. It depends on what order I end up doing here. But you see, he can take these marks, but you can actually resist those marks. So you can build them for pretty high resist. But I got through this pretty easily without it. Maybe in Magic Affinity, it might make more importance. But what we have here is we have multiple shield or multiple heal opportunities. We have damage mitigation. We have Duchess can revive, and she's going to Veil, which is going to reduce damage. And on top of that, he's going to put a block debuff, so none of the other debuffs hit you most of the time. And then when she revives, she's also going to heal. Then we have Geo. Geo can put a decrease accuracy. He's going to put the HP burn, which is going to then, with his passive, that's what's going to be the damage dealer here. We have Aox. Aox has heals. He has a decreased attack. He has just a nice overall toolkit, plus an accuracy. Oh, I think he's arena accuracy, but I have a lead anyway. And then we have Anchorite here. He's going to extend buffs, which is going to be really nice. He's also going to add, the add buff is probably not a great thing, but he is going to heal fully, which is going to help us with the survivability here. Also, because he's adding buffs, even though the increased damage can get us into a little bit of a trouble sometimes in rare occasions, the reality is those increased buffs is just going to make the Iron Twin take more turns, which means more opportunities to damage himself, which speeds it up. And then, of course, we have Goddess Aneri. She's going to heal. She's going to revive. She's going to extend buffs as well. So we have 2 buff extenders. So let's let this go through. You see there's the HP burn. There's the decreased attack. You see heals. Now he's going to put up this on his first turn, which is going to automatically trigger these devs. See how many times he's hitting? It just means it's going to go faster. Now you see here is where he's going to increase the buff duration. So we're just keeping these buffs up for as long as possible, which is really nice. One of the other things that's really great about Aox is Aox can potentially increase the HP burn every time he gets hit. Now, does it happen all the time? No, but it'll increase something most of the time. You see there it was the decreased accuracy, which is nice to have. So you see, just how this team works together. And absolutely, Anchorite's going to heal when people are low. He's going to put up buffs, which is going to trigger more turns, which is going to trigger more damage on the boss. Great overall team. I love this team. I might keep this team over Demetha, to be honest with you. The bolster set is nice off the start, just so that we aren't working from behind from square one. Again, just everything working here. You see we got 7-turn, 4-turn, 3-turn on the debuffs. Very nice to have, and now we're past the point of no return here. I think we do get some death here, but it's too late. By the time the Iron Twin kills us, it's too late for the Iron Twins. Boom, right there. You see now we've got a double revive, which is really neat. One of Aniri's greatest qualities is she's got the passive, and then there, boom. Now our Geo's at full health, no problem. He could have taken another hit. That was Anchorite. As it turns out, we didn't need it. So as you can see there, and we let it go. I stopped the multi-battle because I thought it was going to go longer. But you see there, overall, nice stats. 341 heals. He's healing almost as much as Aniri. He comes in with those nice shields to start. The damage isn't there for sure, but, you know, the War Master procs may actually be a negative detriment in the case of the Iron Twins. So just keep that in mind. That may trigger his cleanse. So just food for thought if you're going to use him here, but easy. I think overall an easy win with only one legendary. Granted, it's probably the most versatile legendary in the game, but again, I really love this comp here. So there you go with the Iron Twins and our champion of the spotlight on Anchorite. My final thoughts on Anchorite: I really like him. He's a really good champion. He suffers from a couple of drawbacks. The first drawback is just the faction he's in. There is so much good here. There is so much good. Even there's good rares. Aethel's there. You've got Lightsworn, who's kind of back in. I think a better champion, a very forgotten champion. Cardinal, one of the best survivors. Godseeker Aniri just does everything so well in the class she's in. He revives, heals, and some general support. You've even got some like Carolina. She's a new one. You've got Romero, who's been buffed. You've got all these champions. So it makes it hard for him to stand out, but I still think he does of his own merit, and he is very strong based on a couple of the skills he has. That ability to fully heal a target ally means it's infinite. Now, it could also mean it's weak if there's barely any health loss, but if someone's sitting on a thread based on unkillable with 1 HP, guess what? Fully healed. Does not matter. Also, that increased crit damage is a beautiful. They're adding it to more and more stuff, and just an extra 30% crit damage. That's never a bad thing. You got a bunch of nukers. A place like Hydra, unfortunately, I wasn't able to give you the footage on the Hydra because of this stupid fight I've had with OBS. But the good news of it is that it was actually, I know it only had like 34 million damage, but it felt pretty easy. It felt pretty safe the whole way. I wasn't really worried at all. So great opportunity there. And just again, I said it before, I'll say it again. The remove one random debuff from all allies is nice to have, especially in Hydra when other than the poisons, you tend to have one. Maybe it's the heal reduction, maybe it's the taunt, but just having that opportunity on a 3-turn cooldown to remove that, very nice ability. Plus the ever powerful increases the duration of all ally buffs by 1 turn. I cannot stress enough how big of an ability that is on a 3-turn cooldown. And then finally, just extra heals here. Very strong overall champion. The only critique I have on this champion is that this here is 4 turns and this here is 3 turns. Which means, again, I have yet another ability that has increased crit rate. It's going to put it out for 2 turns. Then now he's going to go, the rest of the team's going to go, it's going to drop it down to 1. Now his next turn, he can increase it by 1. Great. But then there's still a fall off, so you can't build the team around it unless you have multiple increases and that you're not manipulating your turn meter in such a way as they're not in a different pattern as it sometimes happens. So that's the only gripe I have, is I really wish this was either a 3-turn ability or that it was a 3-turn cooldown. Maybe it would be too strong. I don't think it would necessarily be too strong, but it would be really nice if I could build around that increased crit rate. Even if the increased crit rate was 3 and that was 2, I don't know. Something would be better off than nothing, but that's such a minor gripe in the long term. I really like this champion. This is what a true support champion is all about. He heals you. He gives you notable buffs that are going to make a notable impact. Keep in mind, increased crit rate. isn't just for nukers. This guy here, you're not probably going to build him out 100% crit rate, but with this ability, it's going to allow him to have a higher crit rate, and he can actually increase his own buffs with his A2, so that his A1 will actually make use of that increased crit rate, which is just going to help you heal even further with that A1 ability. So great ability altogether, and a true support champion. Firmly build. I think we showed that he is perfectly fine fitting into a support role in many different areas. Magma Dragon, I know too low, but if it was level 90 or level 100, you would have seen how well and how impactful this guy can be. You've got Hydra 33 million brutal key with this guy, keeping everyone alive, or helping keep everyone alive, and helping keep everyone when the head of Torment came out. Is it Torment? Yeah, the head of Torment came out. Extended those perfect veils so that they could run through, and it was nice because him and Chris together, or him and Godseeker Aniri together, it's even more impactful because they're both on they're all on a 3-turn cooldown, so you're just able to keep buffs up so much longer. So great abilities overall, and I absolutely think that this is a champion that many of you will probably find useful even into the end game and beyond. That's all I have for you to do. I absolutely appreciate you watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was informational. And most importantly, I hope to see you again. So, in the meantime, please be safe, be kind, and we'll see you in the next video.